nigga, if you buying that chicken, you can fuck it.
I got everything I need at my house. I don't need a hall pass.
Every time I get to a corner and I see somebody doing a famous Baltimore gangster lean.
We outside.
Hey, welcome back to another week with the Shop Podcast. Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Yo.
What's going on?
I'm your girl, Miss Toya. That is Miss Sharp Lady. He is Pastor Andrew, and we have Frank in the building, even though we can't see him. How was everybody weekend?
Duty call.
Who's starting out with the weekend? Hey, we
Pastor,
ain't had
you
no
start
Sharp
with
Lady in a
your
while.
weekend.
Second.
Pastor, start with yours.
Well, my weekend was cool. I was off this weekend. I had the distinguished opportunity and pleasure and honor of preaching on Sunday, and it wasn't a lot of people there, but where two or three are gathered, he is in the midst.
He is.
And my friend, my sister, my brother, they came and they fellowship with Beachfield United Methodist Church, and my wife and I and my kids, Miss Toya and Marlon came and fellowship with us.
Yes, it was a great time to be had. I
Well,
really
Pastor,
enjoyed
I
myself.
would have supported you as well, but this was Mom's birthday weekend, so I was out of the state. But the next time, you can definitely count Miss Sharp Lady in.
Amen. Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday. Hey, Trina. Miss Sharp Lady, tell us about Mom's birthday. What y'all do?
So I rented a vacation a vacation home off of Verbo, and it was all of that. I was extremely pleased. It was like a mini mansion. It slept 20 people. It had an indoor pool. And it was just, my mom was so surprised. She had no idea. And all family showed up like they were supposed to. We had good fun, eating, drinking, relaxing, and playing in the pool.
Was it here?
No, it was in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia.
Okay. Oh, that sounds nice. I want to do something like that with my family.
Yeah, it was true experience. We played a lot of family game. This Verbal also had a theater room and a game room. So they had a lot. They had all of the arcade games. They had a ping pong table, a pool table, and they had the theater chairs actually sitting up like you were in a theater. And it was just extremely nice. I was very, very surprised. They really had it had a lot to offer, and I did a great review on it, so I will be willing to share it with any of you all. It is definitely a place where you can take family and just have a great time.
That's good. I like that. I'm looking for a place that holds a lot of people, but not a lot of twin size beds.
No, they had king size beds, and they also had blow up beds in case you went over. It had 6 bedrooms with 6 king beds, and it had a lounge area that had four futons in it, and it had blow up beds. And it had a master bedroom with separate shower, a separate toileting area, and it had a bidet.
Oh, that's nice. Hey, Randy. That I'm gonna look into it. I've never booked one on my own, but I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna see.
Yeah. So, like I said, shout out to Judy Tran, because that's who the Verbo is under, Judy Tran.
Okay. Hey, Sheree. Frank, how was your weekend?
Oh, my weekend was wonderful. Went to a spot in DC. Um, just so you know, the name that I'm gonna say is not what it is. So it's a place called Swingers.
Oh,
it's,
okay. I see what you mean.
but it's for mini golf, but
Okay.
adult everything, like liquor and everything. It was a good place. So yeah, a little time spent there in DC, and I think that's really what I did the weekend. Besides a couple of trips. Yeah, really, yeah.
I still thought you said a couple strips. I thought you was about to say strippers.
No, 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 no. The word swingers already throws things off.
Is it Shayna said, is it better than Top Golf?
Never been to Top Golf, but Top Golf is a driving range, and this is mini golf. So
Got it. Uh See somebody dressed up.
Hey, yeah,
the,
Pastor, we seen you in your Halloween get
Did
up.
anybody
So
else
listen,
dress up?
the Green Ranger is the greatest Power Ranger ever.
Mm. Yeah, my son and my
I'm
nephew
about to
both like Power Rangers.
So you got Lala from Teletubbies, you got Sonic, and then you got Moana.
Mimi wore a t-shirt. And I did not dress up. My husband, let me see if I can find it, is a trader. I ain't even gonna look for it, but he dressed up as
So look, Mike Tomlin is cool, but he's the coach for the Steelers.
exactly. So that's who Marlon was dressed as. So
He's a black quarter. He's a black coach. He's a successful black coach. That's
right. So I gotta give him that, but the golf spot, I was misled when I saw the ad too. It looks nice. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think he's talking about swingers.
Oh, okay. You will be misled, but let me see. So I went to church.
Shayna wore a Ravens jersey. Go ahead.
Huh?
Shayna wore a Ravens jersey. Go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
I did not see her picture when I was scrolling through.
She didn't have a picture up there. She just threw on a Ravens
Why
jersey.
you ain't post her?
Huh?
Why you ain't post her?
Shayna don't like to be posted all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have to get permission to post.
Oh, I mean, I feel like Marlon should get permission, but I always like a good post.
All right.
Go ahead. I like to take the picture myself, but go ahead and post that. So yeah, I had no trick-or-treaters.
I don't think nobody had any trick-or-treaters.
I am not buying candy anymore.
Does anybody have any candy corn? I did not get any candy corn yet. I'm on a hunt for candy corn.
I bought some today from Eddie's over in over there by GBMC. They have a whole rack of. I bought Brock's candy today.
Is it Brock's?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going.
They have a whole stand.
I gotta have some of that.
See, Shayna, that's why I said I take my own pictures, and then I want you to post that. She said you post unflattering pictures. That's a big no. Breon said candy corn is dirty. I'm gonna need to know. Breon placed the order, and we have been so horrible. It is still sitting in my refrigerator. But she's talking about candy corn is horrible. Let me show y'all what she ordered.
Did she order your candy corn marshmallow treats?
Yes. Oh, chocolate covered strawberries. But the middle is candy corn strawberries. Cause they good. It just ain't pretty. But so yeah, that was
when she say candy corn is dirty, do you think she mean like if people take a big bag and they like take some out of it and try to put it in a trick or treat? I don't know.
You know how people just be hating.
Well, it's my son's favorite candy.
I mean, it ain't my favorite, but
yeah, he doesn't eat any other candy but candy corn. That is the only candy that he eats.
Your son has great taste. Real quick, Randy said, speaking of placing order, my daughter is now selling Girl Scout cookies. So if anybody need Girl Scout cookies, check in with Randy.
I will get my annual Thin Mints.
Yes, I need some Thin Mints, Randy.
Thin Mints are the greatest Girl Scout cookie. Anybody that says candy corn is nasty, that's spam.
You said that's what? Spam?
Anybody that says candy corn is nasty, that's spam.
So speaking of costumes, I'm not gonna look for the video, y'all. I'm tired, but I'm sure everybody saw it. So this somebody posted a little girl dressed up as a woman getting a BBL with her sugar daddy. So it's not the parent who posted it. It was a stranger who saw it and posted it. But now the mother is getting backlash over it. What y'all think?
What was the thought behind it? I mean, that to me would not be appropriate. Not for a little or not for a small child, because what are you trying to say? And what's the message behind that costume?
That's
It's
what I
not
was
a
like.
good
It
one.
would be funny for an adult costume. I was like, but that is not child appropriate. But it sparked a conversation with me and Mullen because I also saw the Kardashians, not the Kardashians, but Kim in particular. Her kids were dressed as Aaliyah. What's the singer? Snoop, Eazy-E, and Sade. And I mean, they nailed it 100%. Nailed it. But I was like, what child said, hey, mommy, I want to be Aaliyah, who I probably have no clue of who she is because she died in 2001.
Right.
So the debate was like, and I'm guilty of it. I don't do any I wouldn't put Mimi in a BBL, but especially Mimi can't tell me what she want to wear. So Mimi gonna get the costume that I want to see her in. And when she was a baby, that's what she got. Mimi was Batman or Batgirl for so many years because in my mind, in the world of all the things you could be, why not be Batman? So she was that whether she wanted to or not. But is it fair to not let the kids pick out their own costumes?
I think you should let the kids pick out their costumes. But I'd rather the costumes be something appropriate for kids.
So did your kids pick out what they wanted to be, or did y'all pick that out?
They picked them out.
Okay. Who is the second? I can't.
Is it Crystal, the one that always come up with Facebook?
I'm about to look. You can go ahead and read it though. I think it's Crystal because it says she's watching.
I don't understand the need to dress kids up in adult themed costumes. Randy said, right, these kids just want to be PJ Masks, LOL. Randy said, you going to put Mimi back on her new wheelchair?
Does that mean so she can fly? I don't understand it.
Like she flying home from Miami?
Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. Okay. Was that all right, skip it. I missed it. My bad.
Sometimes it depends on the money. Breon says sometimes it depends on the money and where you're going. Like school friendly if you're participating at school.
Oh yeah, because there are some places. I was watching one podcaster, and she was like, her son goes to a Christian daycare, so they have to approve of the costume before they let their child come, and they won't even do superheroes or any of that.
Yeah, that's kind of how when my kids school too. They pretty much outlined what the costume could be and what it had to represent. And I remember one year them giving them a list of costumes that they could actually wear, and if it wasn't on that approved list, they couldn't wear it.
That's a lot. I mean, because they were like, she was saying that her son wanted to be Catboy, and they didn't approve it, but they approved him being a cowboy. And it was like, all they do is shoot, rob banks, but it's what I never had that issue. And I didn't know if Mimi, if her school still wore, because she's in 9th grade now, so I just put her in a t-shirt that said, "What's your favorite scary movie?" Because mine, again, I dressed her based off of what her mother likes. My favorite scary movie is Scream. So I was like, "This what you gonna wear, girl?" You read them or I didn't see any. Sorry.
No, you good. I saw Mimi's when you posted Mimi in her shirt. I wanted to answer on Instagram what my scary movie was, but it was hard for me to answer it because I don't like scary movies.
Okay. Well, let me tell y'all what happened. I'm not gonna play the video because last time I played the video, we got blocked. But so Halloween, me and Mimi in the house. I was like, "Do you want to watch Halloween, Mimi?" I was like, "You want to watch Halloween or Scream?" So I was like, I am obsessed with watching YouTube reviews now. So I was like, "Well, let's finish watching this YouTube review on the latest Halloween Ends." So as we sitting there watching, it's dark. I still had my front door open because I'm waiting to see if these kids gonna come pick up this candy I done went out and bought. So I see a bunch of sirens coming down my street. And I was like, well, I know it ain't Santa Claus coming through this early. I was like, that is disrespectful. Like, because we have Santa Claus come on a fire truck and ride through the neighborhood. So I get up and look, and it's just like paramedics, fire trucks, police cruisers just keep coming. And I don't live on a big street. And they you can see the way the houses are gapped, you can see the next street over. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So I go on the porch to record it and zoom in. And then I was like, you know what? This is exactly how Michael Myers would kill me. I was like, this would be it. Because my dumb ass outside, he ain't over there no more. If he done slaughtered those people, he left. So he probably somewhere around the neighborhood. And I'm standing here on the porch. I said, let me take myself away from the house. But that was my Halloween. It was a little weird, but I was like, so before we move on, over I guess Halloween night morning, the November 1st, Takeoff from the Migos was murdered. Figured I'd transition to, from slasher to, all right, sorry. But yeah, so I have my shirt today. I don't know if you can see it, but it says, Black men deserve to grow old. Because it seems like every day we wake up and somebody else is taken away from us. So I don't know the details on it. I don't know if
I don't want people to miss what we're doing here today, but before we started the broadcast, I told Toya that in honor of Brother Takeoff, that we just be throwing random ad libs or whatever. So I'm just gonna go ahead and carry on.
Hutch, you want to take this story on? This is no. Oh, by the way, Six isn't here. I don't know if anybody noticed, but he's away. Frank, you there? No. Does anybody else want to explain the story, or I gotta do it?
For Takeoff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
y'all don't want me doing it.
So if I get
I
it
apologize.
wrong,
Something going on with my phone, so I don't know if y'all can hear me.
We can
hear you.
What y'all doing now?
I said, did you want to
talk about the Takeoff?
Takeoff.
I know you and Six cover the music.
Well, Migos is one of my favorite groups, so it was a sad thing to wake up to. And it was just watching what's his name? Is his name Colbert? What's the guy who rides in the car?
Yeah.
So not Steve, whatever his name is. So just watching some of those clips, and when they did Whitney Houston dance with somebody and their ad libs on there, So basically, it's like you can just put an ad lib to any song. So one of Takeoff's is Mama
Rats.
That's one of his ad libs that he uses. But the whole situation is sad, and I mean, after a while, you get just numb to the situations at hand, you know. And for me, it's like, hey, it's just like another situation that just has happened. Um, so I'm really just like, hey, people in Baltimore City where we live locally die every day. So I can't really not to be, um, ignorant about his situation, but the whole situation is just a sad thing. You know, we just had PNB Rock. You know, we just had other um, rap artists, and like the people say, these record companies have insurance policies on these artists. So at the same time, while they out here dying, it is what it is. Like they lose the money, yeah, but these record companies are collecting on these artists' deaths. So I don't know what we're gonna do. Every time somebody a rapper dies, it's always what are we gonna do? What we doing? We shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be doing that. But at the same time, why we can't do it in our local communities as well? We got people that's getting killed in our local communities, and nobody's talking about what we doing, how we gonna stop that. So, you know, at the end of the day, rest in peace, take off, and skr skr.
Y'all can
Right.
say I don't really listen because I don't know any of these ad libs.
Uh,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I told y'all I spend all my days watching YouTube reviews.
Oh,
Um but I mean I do know who I did learn that they were not the three amigos. I figured that one out. Um and then I had to one day me and Marlon was talking and I was like I was saying something about them and he was like name them all. And I was like uh well, Cardi B with Offset. I said because her song, she just keeps saying Offset in there. I said and Nicki Minaj is friends with Quavo, and she did an interview and she kept saying how that's her little brother, so she don't understand why they got beef. And I was like, what's the other one name? And it was a game of charades for me to get to take off.
yeah,
Um,
that was the quiet one. That was the quiet one.
and that's what everybody says. Like that's all I've been seeing is like that's the quiet one. He don't get in no trouble. I heard that was the best rap out the group.
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, I mean, I really so like when they're a group, like you can tell. I think you can tell Quavo's voice because he be using that machine. But as far as the other two go, you really can't tell. But I know it's a toss up between Offset and Takeoff as far as who was better out the two out the group out the three.
Um, yeah, somebody. I was talking to somebody and they was like, I just want to see what Offset gonna say. I want to see what he got to say about it because I guess they had um I don't know dismantled the band. Uh,
But I mean, I think that at a moment like this, it's bigger than what the beef was about. Because at the end of the day, they family.
that's exactly what I said. I was like, the fortunate thing for the person I was speaking to, I was like, you don't understand because you haven't really experienced death close to you. Like somebody who is, and I don't mean like close, like, I think we look at like our grandparents and aunts and uncles, and we know they supposed to die. But when we look at like our best friends, our cousins, people we grew up with or people that we're still so close to, and see how quickly things change in a minute and they're gone. I was like, when you experience that death that close, all
Right.
that other stuff don't matter. I was like, they not rappers no more right now.
No, that's
I
that's
said, this is a family issue.
right.
Like, this
Like,
is a family loss.
that's your nephew. You there with your nephew. I don't care what the age is. That's still your nephew. That's your family. You there with your nephew, and your nephew get
I
out
mean,
of
I get so Randy said, I mean the one that needs to be hurting is hold up. I mean Quavo, the one that needs to be hurting, his beef got his nephew killed. And I think it's definitely gonna hurt. I do I think that's a statement that doesn't need to be said. It's been said by everybody, but it doesn't need to be said because, of course, it's going to hurt. Like, and to know that this is probably something that could have been avoided.
But you know what's so crazy though? Because we are on social media, nobody knows the true story. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And another story came out today where it's saying that it was not even a dice game that they were beefing over. They saying that they was trying to mend the situation.
Was that the girl who called into the radio or something?
You heard her? Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I think you could.
Yeah, her telling her side of the story because she's saying that she was there. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what really happened because we wasn't there. But of course, the first thing is dice game. Quavo got into a beef with a dice game. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what it was, but at the same time, still, my thing is this: when do athletes get to the point of life when they say just like Coach Prime just was on his with his team because he told his team they ready to go to Houston and ain't nobody leaving that hotel. Your mama, your side girl, your girlfriend, everybody gonna have to come to the hotel.
Your side girl.
You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. That's what the man said. He told his players, there ain't nobody leaving that hotel. And I understand. He said you have to change your address. You have to change your situation. So when does it come to a time where these PR people stop becoming the yes man and say, look, you making a lot of money out here. You don't need to show off for nobody. You don't have nothing to prove. You know what I'm saying? So when do they get to that point where saying, lad, I got all this money on me. What I need to go outside for? What I need to go, what I'm playing, if it was a dice game, what I'm playing dice for? And as Mark Curry from Bad Boy said, take that shit to the casino.
So, because somebody mentioned something about that, and I saw a post with, and like to your point, like it's so many different stories. Because somebody was like, all they said was like, it's a difference between shooting dice and it's a difference in being in the casino. So I didn't know if they were implying that they were like in the casino or something. You breaking up?
I said I think they was just at the event and they were just shooting dice. I mean, and you can shoot dice at the casino, but it's of course more monitored. It's a monitored situation. And yeah, you probably don't get a fight. You get a fight at the casino, but ain't no guns inside the casino. All you gonna do is have a hand, and then maybe we get to the parking lot if it spills over. You know what I'm saying? But that's just crazy.
So I got a question. Is Jay Prince in the music business or what's his job?
So I want to say before, back in the day, but I don't think now. Like I don't know. I think that shit is like more like some gang shit. Like I don't think it's like I don't know what he does. Like I know he was
with his son, right?
He's a bully. I know that.
Because I also felt like this wasn't them hanging out with. And I mean, if that's what you do, that's what you do. I agree. Like sometimes not even sometimes you need to change your circle. But I also kind of felt like this was people. They weren't hanging out with broke people. They wasn't hanging out with the corner boys. Like I don't even know what Jay Prince does, but I know who Jay Prince is.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just a sad state of affairs. I think they want to have regular lives. I mean, it'd be you can have something in your house and something jump off.
You're absolutely right.
It's just I wish people, and it's the internet, so it'll never happen. It's like asking people to all be hold hands and be friends. But because I think people realize when it's a local thing. Like when it was Lord School there, everybody was like, y'all need to be careful with y'all posts because his family see this and this, that, and the third. When it's a big time celebrity, I guess we don't give a fuck that their family see this stuff too.
Right.
Like in that they're hurting just like you would be hurting. But it's a big ass to X the internet.
But you know what's so crazy because it's like a wildfire. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as that first, it's like I gotta be the first one to post it. I think it was Hollywood Uncut or whatever the place was because TMZ, the Shade Room, none of those people had that shit dropping point. You know what I'm saying? So about 7 o'clock, now everybody started posting this one video. You know, and my thing is they couldn't post the part maybe before, or you know, they couldn't just say, hey, it's alleged that Offset was shot. Like, why did you have to post this man's body laying lifeless, dead in a pool of blood? Like, come on, man, they got to get it together. People got to get it together. And I'm not gonna keep on talking about no our people, because you know that's the first thing people say. People in general have to get it together. Like, be respectful.
I agree. The problem is that they do it because people entertain it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not clicking on no videos. I'm not asking to see something if I know it, has that stuff in there. But because we all still entertain it, that's why they still do it. Not to switch gears, but switching gears, it's the same thing with I saw last week somebody had posted that, and I hate to talk about it, but somebody was like, Kanye West posted his second apology, and the apology was like, how he now understands what it feels like to have a knee on his neck and whatever else he said. But his first apology was to the Jewish community. And like people were saying, I saw a bunch of comments that was like, well, why wasn't his first apology to Black people? And I was like, no offense, it's because we don't hold people accountable. It's always going to be somebody making an excuse. It's like, because as soon as Kanye say something, everybody like, see, that's what he meant. Because you ain't understand. He really smart and he really understand the situation. And then when he apologized, I'm like, well, no, you just backed what he said. You thought what he said was a genius move. And now, but we don't band together like other people do.
Well, you know, like you always say, ain't no point in putting an apology out there when you already meant to say what you said. You know what I'm
And I
saying?
definitely was not here for his apology. I was like, again, something else I wasn't clicking on.
So, you know, if Kanye is such this evil genius, just be the evil genius. Just be who
I'd
you
have
are. You know what I'm
respected him
saying?
more for just taking the L with all that he lost and was like, fuck it, I stand on what I stand on. I'd have respected that more. I don't I don't feel people apologies. Like, we live in a society that is skip asking for permission and just ask for forgiveness.
Something you said that stuck with me, and it made me think when you was like, we as a people, our people don't hold our own people accountable. Is when people be walking around like free my mans, but when they be like free my mans and you'll be guilty. I don't understand that.
Nothing grinds my gears worse than that.
I
I'm
mean,
like,
like,
and I believe.
like if he was innocent, I understand, but like if he guilty, I don't get to free my mans. I don't
Because
get that.
I was very adamant about free Adnan.
You know, one thing about Free My Man, or again, that's for the game. That's for something just to say. If you know Lil Robert done killed 1,000 people, you know you gonna stay riding with him because this for the game. This is for
Okay.
this for
Okay.
us.
No,
Okay.
I have seen straight up family members be
Well, you
like,
know,
free such and such, they don't need to be there. And I'm like,
One assist is not
but
operational.
they did that, right? And I'm a firm believer, like, I'm not saying turn your back on people. I have I've known people in certain situations. It wasn't that I turned my back on you. I don't love you anymore. I don't love you any less. I may even love you more. Just so you don't feel like you sitting in jail for the rest of your life alone. But that's where you belong, and that's where I want you to stay.
Well, one of the things that's before you can even give anybody any kind of grace is that the people got to hold themselves accountable. And I think the bottom line issue for me is that before we can even accept the apology from anybody, we got to know that the apology is sincere and that the person is holding themselves accountable for their actions. And I don't see that very often.
I'm telling you, it's not meant for me to be a celebrity because I refuse to ever issue a public apology for something that now, I'm sorry, when you've done something to the public, yes, I see that warranting an apology. But also, if I did something, I stand on it. Like, stand on it. If that's what you really believe it. Them honestly, them endorsements ain't coming back. Them Jewish people ain't. No, they ain't trying here. Adidas ain't taking you back. Skechers ain't taking you in. Like, let's no. So just go ahead and stand on what you said. Mean it. Own it. It's fine. You stand on calling Pete, whatever his name is, I can't think of it, a heroin addict. Stand on everything else you say. But I do think I wish we were at a place where, because we'll like a company will do something that's offensive to Black people. We'll know it's offensive and be like, but I'm still gonna rock this Gucci belt. I still need those Gucci loafers. But then be mad when other companies be like, we shutting this down. We not supporting it.
You want to
Like,
know?
that's
You
the
want to
same
know why?
energy.
You want to know why we rock that same Gucci and that same bullshit? It's because they sit there and they go get a person like Dapper Dan, who's supposed to be, I guess, a representative because he was a designer. And let's say, okay, Dapper Dan, come on in here and make some Gucci shit, you know, and this gonna be for the culture, this for the people. So instead of us standing together, we accept the apology. We the ones that accept and take the apology. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
okay for us. We take that. Them other people, oh no, they not taking that. But we take it all. We love it. It's okay for us.
But then but at the same time, we as a people wonder why Kanye's apology to Black, I'm sorry, Ye, I will respect him and call him what he wants to be called. Why Ye's apology to Black people came second. It's because I just say something to brush them off. But they ain't going, all I gotta do is I'll put out a song, or I'll find somebody to produce my merchandise and they'll be back. Like, I remember it was a while ago, but I want to say maybe Ludacris. I could be wrong, but it was like he had some song that said something, and it was and Randy, you can fact check me if you want. Said something about Asian women in the song.
Your boy said something about Asian woman. Let's get it right.
Okay, but I'm going to a specific point, so don't bring nobody else in. Let me finish my story.
Go ahead, so I can go ahead and talk about your boy. But go ahead.
They went back and changed the song because they were in an uproar. What my point is, regardless to who did it, whether it's Diddy, Ludacris, Jay-Z, Kanye, anybody, the problem is we allow this stuff to happen. But we're bothered when other people stand up for their communities and don't accept it. We could possibly stand up for ourselves and not accept it. Now, what you want to say about my boy?
I think Hutch just want to be like, take that.
That's it. Just want to throw something in my face. But
I was gonna say that.
my statement from the last thing stands.
Oh yeah, it stands, but
I'm gonna hold you accountable to what you do. I don't care who it is. I'm gonna tell you if you messed up. It's just I'm still gonna love Diddy. Can you read these comments?
Yes, I will. Randy said Pete Davidson. That was what you was trying to look for, the name Pete Davidson. Yeah. Thank you for clearing that up. Breon said a lot of people are so sensitive when things are done to them and want to call press conferences, but don't see the wrong in them. And then Breon also added, thank you, Breon, for that. She also added, you've been systematically raised to take what the world does, and we've been just going along with the plans. Ye is mentally ill, but he's not wrong about everything he says. He needs someone to listen to his rants and write down the things he should keep and ignore the things we shouldn't.
Okay, I will say this. Somebody said it about that Candace, whatever her name is, and I said it doesn't apply to her. But even the broke clock is right twice a day. So I will not say everything Kanye West is saying is wrong, but he's very loud about what's wrong. So I can't sit through and filter out what he's doing. He needs somebody to before he needs if he's mentally ill, that's what needs to be addressed.
But do you think
Address
that
that.
he's really mentally
So-
ill?
So this is what I wanted to say. That question is a valid question, Hutch. This is what I wanted to say. Before I get angry or before I get disappointed in the comments that he made, I don't understand them. I don't understand why he said slavery was a choice, or however he put it. And I also don't understand when he was like, White Lives Matter. I didn't understand either of the things he said. So I need somebody to explain why he said it, or like what was the point behind it.
What did he say in that 3-hour show?
Okay, well, I can tell you, I think the slavery was a choice was because maybe we didn't get up and fight back sooner. Everybody wasn't Harriet Tubman trying to, overthrow the people. Like you should have chosen to fight back sooner. That's what that one was about. White Lives Matter was because him and Candace believed that white people are going to become the minority. Was there another one?
No, that was it. That
I don't
was
agree with any of that at all, but that's what they were getting at. And the comment when they said the broke clock is right twice a day, it was because Candace, I think it's Owens, had this whole thing where she was saying how Black men are mistreated and how broken homes and this, that, and the third. And I was like, those things are all true, but let's talk about where it stems from. I was like, because all you do is bash Black people. But let's think how we got here.
Mm-hmm.
So, both of them. I haven't seen her with him lately. All these people are withdrawing from him.
Well, because again, when it comes to the Jewish population, people tend to fall back. They don't want the backlash from them because, as you can see, I don't know how Nick Cannon got back good with MTV, but whatever he did to get
Nick
back
was
good,
quick with his turn.
it was very quick.
There was no gap in it at all.
I don't know if he might have donated some money.
I don't know. You want to read those comments before we move on?
Sure. So a minute, I'm trying to catch up. Breon said, heck yeah, I think that Ninja skits. Breon also said he got all the signs.
Can I just make a quick comment about people who suffer from different types of mental health disorders? So the allegations about Kanye being, having a mental health disorder has been there for a long time. And I think at one point he was hospitalized. This was like a few years ago. But from my professional dealings with individuals who suffer from mental health disorder, some of them, their beliefs and their thought process is completely different than what you would consider as a normal person. And they're always right. So no matter how you spin it, how you try to show them sometimes that things are wrong, for some of them who suffer more from what personality disorders, it's always going to be their thought process. Because one thing that a lot of people don't understand is that no matter what medication you put a person on that has a personality disorder, there is not a cure for it. So that could be, where maybe his disorder might be leaning towards. I don't know, but that's what it seems like to me. And I'ma own that one.
That's a good point, Kathy. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Thank you for giving us that. Because a lot of people, some people, I ain't gonna say a lot of people, some people don't fully understand the mentally ill and everything like that.
Well, the point is that depending on what disorder you got, some of it can be managed. Some of the symptoms can
Absolutely.
be managed.
Absolutely.
Like if you suffer from a mood disorder, then yeah, you can, there are mood stabilizers, there are sedatives. But for personality disorder, there is no medication that you can offer an individual who has a personality disorder. So you may see 7 of them at one time.
7 other personalities all at once?
Yup.
Oh, wow.
And you can see that, one day you're going to have the nice, meek person. Then the next day you're going to have the angry person. Or you might have the nice, meek person and the angry person at the same time. And you never know what's going to trigger them in their personality disorder. The only thing you could do is that, try to keep the one that's rational present.
Right. Bless you. Let me, Kathy, put a pin right there. Let me catch up to these comments real quick. Randy said, "Don't remember it all. I believe he was saying they could have chosen death over living in slavery." Shaking my head. Yeah, I'm shaking my head too. Breon said, "It still is. It still is. It's a choice that we still live in the predicaments we're in now. Stop being distracted by the things that they dang on your face and really look and pay attention to what you really owed." Randy said, "I do want to watch Candace Owens documentary though. I'm a bootlegger though."
I want to see it too. I want to see what they saw that, made them go on the rant that they went on.
Breon said, they aren't the real Jews. I always say that. Breon said, "Been saying that since middle school. Sorry we took so long to get to this comment, Breon." Breon said his mama helped him stay focused and together, and when she died, his true help died. A lot of people say that. I think a lot of people would agree with that, Breon. And one more. She said, "It is a cure for it. Read your word. It's nothing but demonic possession a lot of times, but we've watered down the power of God with the power of medicine. So this is what we get."
So, also, Pastor, I know you posted about the security guard that shot the thief. What happened with that? Because I don't watch the news, so I don't know nothing about it.
So I believe this was Royal Farms on again, thank you for the comments, Breon, that you gave, the input. Also, Kathy, thank you for your input on the mental illness. What were you finished talking about that, Kathy?
Yes, you can move on.
I didn't want to stop you if you was finished. If you wasn't finished.
We've given Ye too much show time.
Facts, big facts.
So the thing, I believe it happened at Royal Farms on Washington Boulevard. The armed officer or whatever. Believe it or not, security guards and security officers are different or whatever, and it can be offensive if you label all as guards. Hutch know what I'm talking about. But the armed officer.
I'm actually interested to hear the definition of which. I know in the jail, if you call somebody, if you don't call them correctional officers and you say correctional guard, then they get with it. So as far as security guards or security officers, I don't know those two differences, but
I wasn't really
That
big
girl
on
was
the
tripping.
difference either. I wasn't offended if I got called guard. I would security. I felt like security, but I've had people say it's not the same thing, and I've had people say I've been at my job at the hospital, working security at the hospital for a while, and one of the first things they said is don't call one of them a guard. They're a security officer. So I'm just letting people know that this, some people security feel like it's different between guard and officer.
I think because Pastor, it used to be there's a stigma attached to the word God, and that goes back to like thinking about when the old kind of attendants and stuff that they had doing it's like this. It goes back as far as like the Civil War time and things like that, and people find it to be offensive because they're thinking it's kind of racially motivated to a certain degree, and they see it as a degrading. When they decided to bring it full in terms of modernization, security officer was replaced to actually give the term security guard a facelift and make it more professional and more business friendly. And that's why people get offended when you kind of take it back to thinking about, all of the work that went into it to move it forward and make it more professional. Now it's even moving forward again, thinking about, having them be called correctional.
So Kathy, we're gonna have to, on that note, we're gonna have to pass the plate around or whatever. You've been preaching and dropping a lot of knowledge.
So also with the guard thing, people say I'm not guarding like an object or an item, you know what I'm saying? Even though you may be in a building, I think, I will go with what Kathy said. Officer is more appropriate when it comes to, and I guess when you deal with law enforcement, people tend to give the police more props than anything that they deserve, because you may have a situation. I can tell you this one thing for sure, thing for certain: ain't no police officer coming into no jail without their weapons. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's a fact.
And they don't represent a correctional officer when it's law enforcement day or when they're going to go get them donuts or whatever they give out free things at 7-Eleven. They don't represent a security officer or a correctional officer. They don't put them on the same pedestal as a police officer. So, I think, I can agree with Kathy is saying taking that whole guard and throwing it in the trash.
Well, and then looking at it from another perspective too, Pastor Hutchin Toya, when you think about what you said, the role that a security officer, a correctional officer plays versus a police officer. One, the police officer, as you said, they're not going to walk the tier. They're not going to go in the housing unit. They're not going to go in the dormitory unit without being locked and loaded. Correctional security officers, correctional specialists, they do it every day.
Goddamn right.
So to me,
that wall.
You got to give them their props. And that's the reason why you have Correctional Officer Week, because they earn every dollar that they earn.
Shout out to all my correctional officers out there. Hold it down.
So what happened at Royal Farm?
What happened at Royal Farm? The security officer, the armed officer. It was a theft. It was an attempted theft, and apparently, it shows that she was headed towards the thief with her weapon, and she shot him. And it was different from the other situation that happened. In the other situation that recently happened, it was a situation where the armed officer was I guess supposed to be approaching the theft, but the thief, had a syringe or something like that, and was gonna strike the armed officer with the syringe, and then that ended up getting him shot. But that would be what you call a good shoot, because he's defending himself from the syringe and not going after the thief over stolen property or something that was said. And this one that just happened at Royal Farms, apparently she wasn't, according to the footage, she wasn't in danger or whatever. And even if this individual was going to steal something, it's not a good shoot if she wasn't in any type of danger. If it was just over stolen.
Right.
So she's being charged for attempted murder, and some other things. But yeah, it wasn't. It doesn't sound like it was a good shoot at all.
So from also what I understand, the person kept on going inside the store. She told him not to keep on going inside the store. Don't keep on going inside the store. So I don't understand how you tell somebody not to go inside the store. But however, he went into the store, and I guess on the third time is when she shot him. So there's no reason, there's no cause on what's the reason that you shot this person? What's the reason
Absolutely.
that you decide to unload this person? So again, these are situations that the people who are there only know the story.
Right.
Right.
But
and how you're supposed to write the story. You're supposed to write write the report the right way. You know what I'm saying? In the situation, if you felt like you was threatened or whatever else. Apparently, she said that she was threatened when the cops came, but nobody can prove that she was in danger.
Well, I was going to say, what was she threatened by? She thought she was a white police officer, huh?
I don't know what she was, but guess what?
I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know. It's not looking good. If they charging her for attempted murder, it's not looking good. It's not showing that she had a reason to pull her weapon, let alone fire her weapon.
She's going down.
That's crazy.
Down.
Let's talk about something lighter outside of death. I guess before the next time we meet again, Election Day will be here.
Yes.
Is that right? School closed, so y'all let Hutch know about transportation.
Real quick, Breon said, start cutting hands off and save your bullets.
Breon, you're having a real militant day today.
By any means necessary.
He said, "Cut their hands off." Look, I have swiped a thing or two. I'm not gonna lie, it has happened. Please do not cut my hands off or kill me.
A few things that's obviously on the table when it comes to politics. The governor race. Here you have somebody that is, I guess, a Trump supporter, and then here you have somebody that's a Democrat in Westmore. So those two will be running against each other for governor. You have the whether they're going to legalize weed in Maryland on the table.
Westmore.
Say again.
I said I have a sign in my front lawn that says Westmore. And I can't.
Westmore's probably going to be the majority.
I can't imagine. I'm sorry because I know you were talking about other stuff. I can't imagine if Dan Cox wins. I'm going to laugh at that one. I think that means the whole Democratic Party just didn't show up, and the Republicans with sense didn't show up. When the current Republican governor won't support you, it speaks volumes.
Well, Dan Cox and Uncle Larry Hogan has a commercial together with Larry with his sunglasses on the top down, talking about, come on, jump in, I know the way. So,
well, that might be something old that he done concocted together, because he is on record as saying he will not support him, nor will he vote for him.
Well, the whole voting thing is all a game. I mean, I just hope people just still go out and vote. But it's all a game. It's all it's a dirty game.
The other thing that's on the table is I guess legalizing marijuana in Maryland. Jump in. What you think, guys?
I don't smoke, so I don't
It's not legalized already.
No, it's not legalized yet
I'm
here.
sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'm
Um.
late to the party.
Well, I mean, they might as well go ahead and legalize it everywhere because in every corner, in every building that used to be something, it's turning into a cannabis dispensary. So they might as well go ahead and legalize it. Everybody got a medical marijuana card anyway.
Well, having said that, if they legalize marijuana, this is question B. If they legalize marijuana, um, should they let out people that are in prison over marijuana?
Well, that's Joe Biden's fight right now.
Yes.
Also, I mean, a lot of things was overturned with Obama as well, but that's Joe Biden's fight currently to release those folks with marijuana charges. So, I think a marijuana charge is the dumbest charge ever. But I guess back in the '80s, nobody could say, "Hey, this is what's happening." So, a lot of people caught charges that were unnecessary.
I don't even think back in the 80s. I think that's part of, like I always say, when people want when they talk about crime in Baltimore, and I ask, what is it that you want them to do? Because in the 90s and early 2000s, that was the last time we had a low crime rate. But a large part of it was O'Malley was just locking everybody up.
Him or his wife. His wife took the cake.
So it's, what do you want? But I do think everybody should I think those, unless you got other charges attached to it. Like,
Since we're Marylanders, another question: how much change do you think there will be, being that when Ivan Bates takes over?
0.
I think Ivan Bates is just the new talk. And at the end of the day, when you talking, it is what it is. I mean, he gotta say what he's gonna do, but I don't think he's gonna really do nothing anyways. This town is a town of do what they want to do. So because Baltimore is a town where I don't think it'll be fixed, I don't think Ivan Bates got a leg to stand on.
It's like with the mayor, with the state's attorney, with the police commissioner. It's like people expect change, but it just seems like these are just names to blame for what's going on. That's what they're looking for, somebody to blame, and that's what they do. They blame the commissioner, they blame the mayor, they blame the state's attorney.
I think change also starts in the community. I remember when, I want to say, it seemed like we are so far along in a year, but I do keep forgetting school just started like 2 months ago. But well, I guess now 3. But when school started and they had the situation at Mervo, I remember one of the first comments I saw was, well, where's the mayor at? Why, this is his fault. And I was like, how do we blame politicians for the actions of the public? And I get why. I will say, I understand, before I make my next statement, I will say, I understand 110% why people do not come forward to report stuff, because I'm a scaredy cat. But, however, if there is no cooperation from the community, what do you expect from these people? I've sat on a jury where I knew 100%, I ain't gonna say 100%, but I was a good 80% sure this person was guilty. But it was nothing that the prosecutor did to prove it. And they were all ready to, I like to say, I gave him his freedom, because they walked into that room and they was like, guilty. And I was like, jury foreman here. No, I'm sorry, she didn't prove his guilt. And the problem with proving the guilt was no one would come forward. So it's hard for them to do their job. It's hard to keep the streets clean when people are doing, what they want to do. We talk about lives being lost, and they be like, now this ain't got nothing to do with Takeoff, but I mean, like, regular people in the street, we be like, they ain't do nothing to nobody, they don't never hurt nobody, they keep to themselves, but they got 4 bodies on them, and you know that.
I ain't never believed in nobody, unless a crime is committed, and I'm gonna use Baltimore as an example. If a crime is committed in Federal Hill, as far as like a robbery or something like that goes, and they lock up a person that I would say that don't belong in the neighborhood, those type of crimes, I can say yeah. But when a crime is committed in Robert, and he just got ran down on, and they shoot him up, and they talking about, oh, he's a good man, he was at his job. But what did Robert do before? Was Robert always this working man and taking his kids to school and this and the third? It's just so crazy, but I don't know. Crime is going to be crime, and I don't know what this plan is with the new safe streets and all this stuff, but I don't see a Baltimore of less than 300 murders. No time.
Like, I have a very close friend, her son was killed, I want to say last year. Everybody knows who did it. Police knows who did it. But no one will come up and say what happened. How do you prosecute that?
Well, you can't prosecute it.
So again, it goes back to a level of accountability. We want safer streets, but what do we do for safer streets? There's a reason why people talk about certain parts of the city that are very good parts of the city. Like, you can go, they safe, it's monitored, it's this and it's that, and they probably got more money, but they also ain't letting the stuff happen.
No, they're not.
Like, it's not going down in their neighborhoods. And it's not just because the police are on their job, because those people in those communities pay too much to let you just let shit happen.
They actually police their own neighborhoods.
I said something about something that I knew that happened in the county, and I was like, well, that got solved like that day. And they were like, because it's the county. Stop making that the excuse. Like, there has to be some level of accountability that the community has to bring to the table as well.
Absolutely. So it's a two-way street, Toya. I was gonna say this. I want to say this before I forgot. I'm sorry. It's a two-way street. It's like it is like they need the community to stand up and say, this is the person that did it. However, it's hard for the community to stand up and be like, this is the person that did it, when they won't be protected. Because if they say such and such did such and such, and they snitch, I'm using the word snitch with quotation marks, because that stop snitching thing went out a while ago, whatever like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's hard for people to come forward if they know they're not going to be protected. If people that came out in the past and been like, hey, such and such, Lil Pookie shot such and such or whatever, and then there was no witness protection, there was no protection for them, and then the person that came forward got killed. So it's hard for them to step up and say such and such.
That's why I said, before I made the statement, I was like, I get it. Because you ain't getting me to... I'm very, I have tunnel vision. I'm not trying to be with you, but I'm just saying, this is why.
But we also live in a society with police itself. Therefore, kill Lil Pookie, right? Such and such, and that's how things get solved. I mean, it's a bad way of doing things, but yeah, nobody's out here telling, because if you tell, they're gonna kill that family, that whole family. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the way that they're doing it is terrible too. But I don't think that the police give a damn anyways, because the crime is being solved in a negative way, but the police don't care. I mean, I done rolled past blocks where you got all the hustlers on one corner and the police is up the street doing nothing.
Facts. Well,
So
you know what? A Huts at the same time, I put a little tidbit right there. At the same time, you know, a lot of the police felt like it's been hard for them to do their jobs after the Mosby thing, and you know the whole Freddie Gray situation or whatever like that.
I mean, I think that's gonna always be. But I think policing is one of the easiest jobs. You ride through, put your sirens on, you put your microphone, you talk, you police it from the car. Hey, get off that corner, blah 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 blah. And now you got these ones that's the younger ones who don't have no care in the world for the police. So now they're gonna make them do their job. You're gonna come out that car and chase me. You know what I'm saying? But now they got this authority and they feel like, oh, I'm gonna beat this person straight on up. You know, so I don't know. I mean, snitching or telling or whatever case may be, it's never gonna happen because, like you said, there's no protection for the snitch or the rat or whatever they want to call it.
So y'all all voting on Tuesday?
Of course.
Of
My
course.
house of vote. We have voters in my house.
Okay. Just making sure. Okay. So I'm gonna move on really and try my hardest not to bring us back to violence because I thought the election went, but we still got back there. Elon Musk fired the CEO of Twitter, and his severance package was $60 million. I would like to apply for a job just to get fired.
Right.
If that's the outcome. And he had been there for a year.
Why would he even care?
What you say?
Well, you gotta understand, Toya, that a lot of positions such as that position, even though it's not probably like a spoken thing, but they have contracts and they have like, you know, signed work statements. So if you fire them and you can't prove that they weren't doing their job, you have to do that to avoid a lawsuit.
I want one of those jobs. That's all I'm saying. I would listen. Have y'all ever gotten a severance package before?
Nope.
Yeah. Yes.
I got one before, and I told Marlon about it last night. I said, it was less than what my paycheck is today. I said, but I took that severance and was like, I'm out of here. I really just went to another department in the company, but I need that to be my severance package. I was like, no wonder these people don't be worried about getting fired. Fire me.
I bet you that if you went to that man's HR, he had a contract. He had some type of leverage that his position was supposed to be secured. And Elon didn't want to get fired. So he bought him out of his contract.
Buy me out.
Exactly.
Facts.
Okay, I'm not saying they don't have a contract. I'm saying that's the type of jobs I need to start having. I want you to buy me. I want to be one of these coaches that get fired. One of these.
Tony, let's not forget Deshaun Watson hasn't played a game yet. He got that $230 million guaranteed.
I want to be these people.
Guaranteed.
Here I am sitting pushing paperwork and booking hotels. They could let me go tomorrow and they ain't giving me nothing. They're gonna be like, you better hope you still qualify for unemployment. But yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I'm just saying why y'all. What else did I have? I got a question. Fellas, I'm gonna start with the two guys. know you're not married, or I don't know what your relationship status is, Hutch, but let's pretend you're in a relationship. Is it okay for your partner to accept a drink from another man?
No.
What is the man?
Huh?
What is the man? Cousin, her homeboy, a coworker?
I don't know, at the bar.
Right. So I mean, you can't really. I mean, I don't. I
Do
mean,
you have
unless it's.
okay, so what are your parameters for what she can accept then?
I mean, I guess if somebody trying to date her, that's something different. But that's the only way. But we would never know, or I would never know. But that's the only way. Somebody who's trying to date or whatever the case may be. Then yeah, nah, why are we doing that?
So have y'all never been at the bar and like it's just y'all start talking to people and like around the shots for everybody? Y'all don't do that?
No, no.
Nah.
People.
Well, Toya, I'll come clean because I actually had the scenario you're talking about happen to me. So I was dating a guy, and he had this work crew that he hung out with every week, and he finally, brought me to one of their little work crew hangouts, and one of the guy who actually was supposed to be his like work partner. Brought me a drink and was hitting on me the whole entire night in front of him, and I let the guy do it because I felt like, okay, so when are you going to stand up and say anything? And he never stood up and said anything. So, of course, the next day I was like, oh, he gets the boot. But to me, I just think that it shows the caliber of the man if he lets another man disrespect him right there on that level.
So
Okay, well then that leads to what Randy said.
So first, Breon said you can accept it. He saved the money. Randy said I'm gonna ask the waiter for 2 straws and say thank you. Then Randy said, "Show up."
You want me to read it? I see it.
I wanted it to show up on the screen first. I don't see it on.
It's on mine. You don't see it on the screen?
It's on the screen.
I think mine's just slow. All right. He said, I've not experienced that situation. Closest thing was when my boss put a few grand down for a company event. So multiple rounds for everyone. LOL. Katrina is a new comment person in this thread. She said, one year we went out for my birthday and this guy kept buying our drinks and gave them to me, Brandy, and my sister. We had a great time.
Kept buying. Oh, she's referring to her partner.
Okay. Buying old drinks. So for me, I wasn't thinking about the scenario that Kathy gave, but I was just gonna say it's been my experience that in these situations, women are likely to receive gifts, willing to accept gifts as such, even if they have no interest in the guy that's or the individual that's sending the gifts. Men are less likely to accept such from women they're not interested in.
So I will say I wasn't thinking of it from what Kathy said. I meant like me, Kathy, Shayna, and somebody else go out and we at the bar and the guy be like, "Oh, let me buy what y'all drinking? Let me get y'all drinks." Should Shayna say no?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Give me the scenario one more time.
I said me, Kathy, and Shayna go out for drinks.
Uh-huh.
We're sitting at the bar and the guy's sitting there talking to us and he's like, "I got the next round. I'm buying y'all drinks." So, should Shayna say no?
Absolutely.
Okay. Shayna, would you say no? I'm looking for her.
Randy said definitely accept the for girls night, definitely accept the drinks. Breon said you can buy my girl a drink, but it don't mean you want anything.
Oh yeah, I ain't see that. My bad. I'm sorry. That's the thing. I have first of all, in my house, my husband is like, go ahead and save that money. Go ahead and take it. Um, but also it's been my experience. I probably in my life, probably of all the drinks I've gotten, had one person give me their number. So I don't have because I think my sister was watching something and the guy was like, "Oh, if she accepts a drink, she's trying to fuck him." Who are these
That's
lowborn
not that's
people
not
that you're
that's
dealing
not
with?
necessarily true.
Right? Like, what makes you think? Why are you with a person who's willing to fuck for a drink? That I thought the going rate was $40. A drink is like 15. I don't know. I went one place it was 25. But still, like what are the morals and boundaries that for a drink I'm willing to let you hit?
So even when I was single, if a woman was offering me a gift or something like that, a drink or anything of that nature, if I'm not interested, I'm not accepting the gift. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay.
So you
And
so
then we've
Pastor,
had
are you saying that a drink is an invitation
a
to
gift.
something else?
If I'm saying if let's say the situation is I'm single and I'm in a bar and the lady is offering me a drink, if I'm not interested in her, and if I'm like if it's not someone I would date or someone I would take home or however you want to call that, I wouldn't accept it if I'm not interested in this woman.
Would you sit there and have a conversation with her?
Absolutely, I have a conversation
So
with
so
anybody.
because so we've had on the flip side, we have had to like when I go out with my sisters. Now my sister, she's much friendlier than like if I'm out with my homegirls. We typically like when it's me, Tyra, and Jada, it's the three of us. We turned in this way, so ain't nobody really breaking the barrier. But when I go out with my sister, it's like it's an experience. So if you sitting next to us at the bar and you talking to us, my sister will be she's the first to be like, you know what, I'm buying around like on me. What you drinking? And she's willing to offer you a drink. She's not trying to fuck you. We're having a good time. Now, are you
Okay.
gonna say no if I'm gonna say soda for you? Are you gonna say no to that soda because you're not interested in seven?
Wait, run it back, run it back.
I said, if we sitting at a bar somewhere,
Hmm.
and we with my sister, it's an experience. It's not just me and her or whoever we came with. It's if we sitting at the bar and you in our earshot and we all talking. At some point, she is gonna be like, "I'm buying around. What you drinking?" If she ain't pick out what the shots are, it's gonna be what you drinking. I'm getting the next round. Are you not accepting it because you're not interested in her?
Wait a
I
minute,
said
you said
soda for you.
seven. That's not the same situation.
It's a woman.
It is the same situation.
It ain't.
You
Hutch, help
yes
me
it
out.
is.
Okay. Okay. How about
I,
this?
I, I think maybe you should have just left the name out and just
I was
said,
about to say, let me take seven name out. I'm with my other sister who you haven't met. I got three of them. You only met one. And we bump into you. You ain't come with us. But we had, I don't know, Applebee's. I can't imagine where you would be with alcohol. And you come over and speak and we talk and you like, oh, well, I can sit down and chat with y'all. We talking, you throwing back sprites, we drinking margaritas, and she like because you know me, so I'm not gonna say me, but the other person with me
Okay,
is
I'm
like,
accepting the soda. I don't even gonna let you. I ain't gonna let you go that far. I'm accepting the soda. But make this clear, Toya. You already know where I stand. You know I'm married. You know I have a ring.
so
So in
I
that
should say,
situation,
hey,
I don't have
don't buy.
to prove.
You want me to say, hey, don't
Say
buy
again?
her. You want me to say,
No.
hey,
I'm not saying that. I'm saying I was. Of course, Breon already said I'm overthinking it. But
I
uh,
think
I'm
that's the
saying that in that
problem with
situation.
the scenario is that
Okay.
men overthink it. Where's
but
Shane at? Because she ain't respond.
I think some, and
I
not
don't
and
know.
not to say we can't say names, but I think a lot of people overthink a drink. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a bar setting, and you said like you said, your sister decides to say, hey, all these shots are gonna be on me this time around, and because you're in my area, we're all being social. hey, is it okay? You're not say okay, but hey, you wanna drink? You want a shot? That's on me. You know, it's just a friendly gesture. You know what I'm saying? But some people you might send a drink to, and they're sending it to that person as in to entice them with with the what they call it, with the fish on the hook,
Well,
as a little bit of bait.
maybe that's a different situation because I've never, as cute as I think I am, I have never been sitting somewhere and the waitress came over and said, "Hey, this drink is from the gentleman in the corner." Like, I haven't had that situation happen. I've been at the bar and they be like, I've literally had strangers be like, "I'm gonna get her drink too." They get their drink and walk away.
I get that you're saying that because Breon, I agree, Toya, I agree with y'all saying that it could be overthought or whatever. I just want y'all to be clear. I just want to be clear when I said what I said earlier. I know women, and my wife was one of them before we got married, that will know a guy is interested and will offer gifts, have no interest in this guy, and still accept the gifts. That's what I'm talking about. Now I agree that if
Is
I'm
a drink a
overthinking
gift
it, I'll
though?
accept that. I'll accept that. And since Shayna's not around, since Shayna didn't come when you was like, "Where you at, Shayna? Where you, Shayna?" I'm pretty sure in that situation that you threw up, she would accept.
Is a drink a gift though? I'm sorry, I gotta get my charger. Y'all can keep talking.
It was
I
drinking.
think, I think a drink could be some type of bait and some type of, but
Thank you for
social
saying that.
setting,
Thank you, bro.
Okay, well let me throw
hold
this
on,
in.
hold on. In a social setting where we're all being friendly, a drink is just a drink. It ain't a gift. It's a drink. Hey, I'm about to. I mean, shit. At my little birthday situation, everybody got a shot. You know what I'm saying? At my daughter's birthday dinner, everybody got a shot. I didn't think of it as a, what I'm saying, a gift or a bait situation. I just thought of it as, hey, being social. We're celebrating. We're having fun.
Well, that's what the point I was getting ready to make, Hutch. I was just getting ready to say, I think the atmosphere and what's going on, the wording, the whole vibe, that determines exactly what the drink means. If
I
you
tell you
follow
where
me.
my mind went at, and I need the women to answer on here. Toya, sharp lady, if go back to single days or whatever, you're single, and a guy that you have no interest in, like you don't find him attractive or whatever like that, you have no interest in, offers you gifts or offers you drink, whichever one you want to call it, are you accepting?
If I'm out
Yes,
somewhere drinking, yes.
yes, I am.
And I mean that now. If I go to the bar tomorrow and somebody is like, "What you drinking, Toya?" and I know they like me, a mango margarita. Now, I'll be smart enough not to order a Long Island because then,
Now let me swap it. Let
it'll
me
be all
swap
over
it.
the place.
Hutch, you're at the bar, and it's a woman that you have no physical, you're not attracted to. She offers you a drink. Are you drinking?
I'm not taking a drink because in a one-on-one situation, that's something different. A group setting, that's different. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna take the drink. I mean, but I might take the drink not to be so I won't be rude.
So you don't be
'Cause
rude.
sometimes
Okay.
that could be rude.
Okay.
And sometimes somebody might take offense to that. And I guess I don't want to get back to the whole violence thing. But in the world we live in, you don't want nobody to be like, "Oh, that's the nigga right there. Ain't accept my drink. Let me go fuck him up." You know what I'm saying? People is crazy these days, and I don't want to be, the incident of, yeah, he didn't take the drink, so he got fucked up. Let me just go ahead and thank you. And there's nothing wrong with being social.
I'm going to
Okay,
bring
then,
y'all with me.
thank you very much. I appreciate that. If they want to have a sit down and talk, you just sit down and talk. I mean, it ain't nothing big. It's a drink.
That's what I'm saying. Because my thing is, who is out here fucking somebody for a drink?
You never know.
I mean, at least
I
tell
was about to say.
say dinner, but you just giving it up for a drink?
Maybe it's drinking a dinner.
That's a wild one for me. Um,
That was a
I
good
had
question.
walked
Though.
away from my phone, so I don't know what the next thing I had on there was. But hold on, y'all keep talking.
Yeah, but I mean, it's I don't know.
Oh,
The world is crazy. Where
right.
I mean, when and for those who are married or whatever the case may be, if your lady or your man goes out to a brunch or a guy's day out and a girl's day out, I mean, are we monitoring them? We can't monitor what they're doing. So, how can we say, hey, and if you give people rules before they go out, that shit is just messing up the mood anyway. Like, you know, you better not be out there accepting no drinks. What?
Exactly. So my question, Pastor, I guess it's just to you.
Oh, why are you picking on me? Why are you picking on me? That's crazy. You said that was your favorite.
Are you bothered if she takes a drink?
Say you invite Shayna out, right? You, Toya, Toya,
Why you can answer the question?
Kathy, and all of them.
Right. Answer the question.
And like, wait a minute. And a guy offer y'all, I'm buying all y'all drinks. That's one thing. But if all of y'all go out or whatever, and a guy just be like, I sent this drink over to Shayna. Did anybody get what I'm saying here?
Am I the only one that has been out that hasn't been out and somebody sent over a drink? I've never had that happen.
Thank you, Breon.
Right.
You know what? Breon is my favorite today or whatever. Next to Toya, second to Toya. Breon said couples need to have respectful, realistic boundaries. I love you, Breon.
And I think that's exactly what me and my husband have. Like, he expects me to go ahead, and he know I'm cheap, and I don't want to spend my money anyway. I think the boundary is don't give somebody your number or fuck them because they bought you a drink. I think we're clear on that.
But you shouldn't want to have your partner feeling uncomfortable going out as well. Like, oh shit, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, let me not accept that drink. I mean, you might be looking crazy in front of your homegirls,
Right, because I'm a
or
clown.
your homeboys. Like,
I'm a
you might
clown.
shit. Like, goddamn girl or goddamn homeboy, you can't take a drink. You start to get that's right. That vibe that you give and start to give out real, like, motherfucking what's that Lifetime movie vibe.
Well, I ain't trying to do all that, Hutch. I don't want y'all to think, you know what I mean, I'm crazy. I'm saying it's a different scenarios. It's a difference between a guy buying Shayna, Toya, Kathy, Brandy, and all of them drinks versus a guy just choosing Shayna out of all the ladies and girls and being like, here go a drink.
I think that's rude. That's what that is.
But I think that as that being your wife and your wife, you know what I'm saying, knowing how you feel or whatever the case may be, or as somebody say, boundaries, I feel like if the person already know what it is, you ain't got to worry about it. You ain't even got to talk about it. They already know how they're going to move. You know what I'm saying? So for you to, you don't even got to say, like,
that's all right.
How I feel.
I'm going to be like, she can't take it, but I'm going to take her drink.
And that's going to make her look crazy, like, damn.
And like,
all right. Look, I'm gonna relax a little bit because all of y'all saying the same thing. Then Breon just came back and said, "Love you too, but you still think it too hard." A drink was sent over, not the guy. Next, you're gonna frown your face up at the person who compliments your wife. To be honest, I early on I used to frown my face up, but I don't do that no more. I'd be like, "Man, you're right. She is bad." That's why I got
exactly. That's what you got. Like, do you want to have an ugly wife?
Nah, not at all.
You want to think you the only one that thinks she attractive? That's
Not
gonna give her low self-esteem.
Not at all. And Randy said, Pastor, that realistic part may not be what you think.
I think it's not the same for everybody. So here's what I'm gonna say. I'm joking, and I lie to you not. I will tease somebody who's like, no, I can't accept that I'm married. I will tease them. But I respect what people's boundaries are. What works for you is what works for you. If that's what y'all decide, That's what y'all decide. I'm just gonna be like, they already made the drink. I'll take hers. Because they gonna have to pay for that drink anyway. They didn't already made it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it. But that's just me. I'm not gonna force that on anybody. I'm just gonna take Shayna to a bar.
I was just trying to highlight the different scenarios or whatever. The difference between one guy sending something over for just Shayna and sending something over for the crew. I didn't want y'all to. I didn't want to look like Ike Turnerhead.
And I swear, like and maybe it's just me, and it might be playing with me a little bit. I never had somebody send me a drink over. Maybe I'm not outside enough. I've only had when I'm at the bar and they like, oh, what you drinking? I get you a drink. And if I'm no longer drinking, I'm not going to accept it. We went out to homecoming, and it was a friend of ours though. But he was like, "What y'all want to drink?" And I already had a drink. I was like, "I'm done." So there are times I turn it down, but if I was going for another drink, I'm gonna go ahead and accept that one. The only way I'm gonna turn it down is if you said I'm sitting here drinking a margarita and you said, please give her an apple martini, and I'd be like, you ain't want to see what I was drinking. I don't want that shit. But that's just me. What time is it? So we're gonna go ahead and let Pastor get his word in now. Because I'm gonna tell y'all about Married at First Sight next week when I talk to y'all. But the reunion seemed like it's real hype, so I gotta go ahead and
I gotta watch it. But I think that old boy is the dumbest. He's the dumbest ever. But that's another.
Who the tall one?
Yeah, old Tree.
Oh my! I want to see because he came out bold. He was like, "Take that bass out your voice when you talking to me, boy." It's like, yo, she said you can't fuck on TV. Now you want to be mad at him?
But I think the other guy, I think he trying to make him seem like he on the upper side.
Somebody said, because like people like me, we be like, we know what's going on with their lives. Like we investigate. Somebody was like, that's word on the street that Nate is bisexual. But I don't think Nate ever came on to Justin, because one, I'm not ashamed to say it. I think Justin is funny looking as hell.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know why they let him on that show. Two, I watched all the after party shows, and Nate has hated Justin from the very beginning. So maybe he came on to him early on and he got rejected, but he has seemed to hate that boy from the very beginning. He called him a crybaby.
Yeah, he is a crybaby.
But we're gonna discuss it because I want to talk about that and Love Is Blind next week because I got a couple questions for y'all. But it has to go on.
Love them too. It's your call and responsibility. But to you who are listening, I say, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. Luke 6:27-28. Whenever you are confronted with an opponent, conquer him with love. This is Mahatma Gandhi. Do I not destroy my enemies when I make them my friends? Abraham Lincoln. If you're looking for a nice, comfortable religion that doesn't call for too many demands on your life, makes you feel better when you're down, and will reserve luxury suites for you in heaven when you die, then you probably shouldn't try to be one of Jesus' disciples. He is demanding. He has this crazy notion that his followers should serve others rather than themselves. He expects them to show integrity when no one is looking, and he expects them to love. Not just people who only occasionally have a bad day, but enemies. Jesus expects you to love your enemies. Don't follow him unless you're ready to experience a little bit of discomfort, or maybe a lot of discomfort. We all have someone that plucks our last nerve, a bad drive on the road, an annoying coworker, or maybe even a family member that is jealous or just hates our guts. No matter the scenario, Jesus wants us to love the hell out of them. So what do? Think about how Jesus has treated you and treated us. We may say that others don't deserve to be treated with love, but did we deserve Jesus' love? Think about when you said to yourself, I'll show them. Honestly, if you would like to show them, then you should be the change you wish to see in the world and you wish to see in them. If you take vengeance into your own hands, then you're not showing them the right way. But if you take the higher ground and show them love, even if if they treated you bad, then you are showing them Jesus' love, and you may create a friend from an enemy. So let's not just love the people that love us or treat the people good that treat us good, but let's do what Jesus did and try to love everyone.
Amen.
That is the shop message for today.
Anybody got anything else before we go?
I'm all out.
All right, y'all. See y'all next week.
Have a good night, y'all.
Bye.
Blessings, blessings, blessings.
Mama!